Hey everyone, today we'll be changing the ignition coils and spark plugs on this 2007 Audi Q7. You can see this is a 3.6 liter, the VR6 motor. Here are some of the parts and tools you'll need to do a spark plug and ignition replacement on a Audi Q7. So this is the 6 ignition coils, 6 spark plugs, and GK is the actually stock manufacturer of the spark plugs. I used a oil, or actually a paint can opener to pop the electric plugs off the ignition coils, and flathead screwdriver, a 3/8 ratchet, a spark plug, magnetic spark plug remover, a ignition coil puller, they sell it on Amazon, a pick, and some kind of pry bar. What I do is pull it gently on here and then wiggle it out so it releases. Put that aside. Using your tool, if you have it, engage it and pop it out, and you do that for the rest. So if you look here, as you put this tool in here, pull up, you can see this little flap in there. Can you see that? And that releases off of the notch right there, which allows you to pull it up. So if you look at it, that goes in there and clips in, and then you are pulling this up, which releases. But truly not the best design, but alright, so let's get to one of these back ones. So they're a little harder once you get back here, and you don't want to pull too hard up. You just want to release it, push down on the plug, and then try to wiggle it up and you get it out. But they're not easy. Like I said, just kind of push up a bit, just a little, not too much, because then you break the tab. So I was able to get these two out, no problem. This one here actually broke the little tab off, so you can see how easy that is to break. So pull on the back side here while I pull on here. So I'm mostly pulling from the back just to release. There it is. So that helps. You pull on the back side and then just barely pull on this little lever here, because that's what will break, and you can pull it out of the way. So on this particular one, I was getting a misfire on number 6, which is this back one here. And so I'm gonna go ahead and change all 6 of the spark plugs, and then this number 6 coil. Talking the Audi mechanic, he said that the best thing to do is go ahead and replace all 6 of the igniters while you're doing this, but obviously they're about $50 each, so it's up to you. They'll charge you the same to replace all 6 or just the one, except on top, they're gonna charge you more for the parts, obviously. But if you're doing it yourself and one goes bad, you can always go back and replace just that. So it's up to you. I still need to get number 3 out, that way the tab broke, so let me figure that one out. Okay, I finally got this ignition coil. I think I've been saying igniter, but ignition coil off. I ended up breaking the tab. So there's a little lever that when you pull on the tab, it pulls the lever out. So there's no way to really get that out without having the back tab on there, like you see on here. When you pull up, this little lever on the inside pulls out and allows the little clip to release. On this one, I had to actually get a pick in there like this and get behind it and pull out, and then at the same time pull up on the tab. The only way I can get into that point is by pulling out the ignition coil. And that can be a little hard. There's a special tool to pull that out, but actually you pried this one in there with a little hook. I got this at Harbor Freight, and then just got under there and pulled to allow me a little bit of access. It won't let you pull it all the way out, but a little bit of access to get behind that tab and pull it out. So it'll still lock in place. Once I put it back in, it'll just be kind of hard to get back out without. All right, I'm gonna pull all the ignition coils out. I bought this tool set on Amazon. This is the actual tool for this particular car, which is a VR6 engine. And this just fits right. This just fits right on this igniter here. There's these two little notches back here, goes in there, and then it gives you enough leverage to pull it out because it's really tight in between here. So you use this again, and then that way you don't damage these. You could take these out with the, prying them, and then sometimes you'll break them. You won't be able to use them again. So if you don't plan to use them again, then you can just try to pull them out any way you can with some vice grips or something on the top. But you run the risk of breaking this piece here or here. So I'm not going to be using these again, but I did want to use the correct tool to pull this out. It was about $30 for the whole set. You can actually get this particular tool for like $8 if you're just doing this particular engine. But hopefully it helps out. So let me go and do that. We'll do the easy one first, which is going out here. Yeah, definitely. At least that one's easy. So we'll do that. Go to the next one. Maybe this one goes the other way. Yep. So looks like they alternate back and forth. So it looks like you spin it one way or the other as you go down the engine here. So they all look pretty clean. And let's do the one that I was actually having problems with, number 6. I hope this solves my problem. The car was kind of stalling a bit as you drive it and accelerate it, and then I finally got the engine light that said it was misfiring. Put a code in there. It was, I believe, code 302 or something like that. Looked it up. So that one looks a little more grimy there. Hopefully we're not getting any oil back there, but I'm going to check down the cylinders right now and see what it looks like. And I'll also pull out the spark plugs. Okay, so after inspecting the 6 cylinders, the first 4 looked good. The last 2 actually had water in them within the reservoir here where the ignition coil goes into. So that might have caused the air that I was having. Went ahead and vacuumed out the water using this little contraction, my shop vac, and then a little vacuum hose I kind of put in there and try to suck as much as I can out, and go ahead and pull the spark plugs out now. I had this engine pressure wash last week, so that might have caused the water to get into that cavity there. But hopefully I'm gonna go ahead and just replace the spark plugs and the ignition coils anyways, and hopefully that'll correct the issue. Alright, so next I'll be taking out the spark plugs. So to pull the spark plugs out, I'm using a 5/8 magnetic spark plug remover. Actually has holds the spark plug pretty well. And I also put an additional extension because it's pretty deep, and this is a 3/8 ratchet. So put that in there. Hopefully, let's see how it comes out. Take this off. Actually, just sprint it in my hand at this point. We'll see what they look like. Make sure you don't drop anything in there. So, yep, definitely needed a replacement. Look at there, pretty burnt out and corroded. So we'll go ahead and do the rest. All right, let's do these final two. I don't normally do much on this Audi because everything's kind of needs to be done by the dealer. They make it so hard to work on these things, but even the oil change is kind of not worth it sometimes. Do it yourself, but at least these spark plugs aren't too bad. So but yeah, pretty much everything else, this Audi goes to the dealer. Now, just a disclaimer, I'm not a professional, just a garage mechanic working on my own cars, so please confirm everything I'm doing for yourself and work on your own risk. But just wanted to give some information because I didn't see a whole lot out there on these cars on how to replace the ignition coils and the spark plugs. Well, luckily they all came out pretty easy. The hardest part of this is actually taking off the plugs, the connectors to the ignition coils, and as long as you have the right tool to take out the ignition coils, I think this is a pretty easy job. It's always nice to have the right tools. Alrighty, so we'll go ahead and put the ignition coils back in. Here's the ignition coil. So that goes, slips in there. Pops into place. You hear a little click. And that's it. We'll go all the way down the line. Put this back on. You're done. Okay everyone, that was my video on how to install the new spark plugs and ignition coils on a Audi Q7. Please subscribe to my channel. Please press like if this information was helpful, and hope I'll be posting some other videos and just general stuff. Thank you for watching Touareg's Garage. Take care.